Electrical awareness is universal. This principle of electric awareness through sensation is not limited to animal life alone. It is equally characteristic of the mineral and vegetable kingdoms. It extends to the veriest electronic particle and to the mightiest galaxy. Not only is each particle in each mass electrically aware of its purpose, but each particle in the entire universe reacts in response to electric messages sent to it from every other particle in the universe. This physical universe is controlled solely by electrical sensation, which is measured and balanced by the still magnetic light centering all things. For behold, saith the Universal One, I am within all things, centering them, and I am without all things, controlling them. From the Divine Iliad. All of the electric universe of motion is thus so perfectly conditioned by the two electric workers which build the universe and tear it apart sequentially for rebuilding, that all moving things in it sense all other moving things in it. Likewise, all differently conditioned things in the universe readjust their conditioning to every change of condition of every other thing in the universe. There is a constant separating process in nature which forever expresses the universal desire for change and multiplicity, and there is likewise a constant leveling process which forever expresses the universal desire for oneness. Now these are from the Divine Iliad. I, with man, am creating man in my universal image. What I am, man is. I think ideal, and the form of my ideal appears in the pattern of my thinking. I think man, and man appears in the pattern of my thinking. Man thinks man, and man appears in the image of man's thinking. Man's thinking is my thinking. All thinking things are thinking my thinking. All creating things are formed in the image of my thought imaginings to manifest my thought imaginings. The universe is my image creature of my imaginings. Okay, the next chapter is instinct. Organic matter generates purely from the desire of mind to manifest ideal in matter. That cosmic desire to create form produces the desired form. Desire is the motivating force of all creation. Man begins to express the idea of man as a single cell. The whole idea of man is in that single cell. It then unfolds in orderly time and space according to cosmic law. Likewise, the whole ideal of all creation is in that single cell. All ideal is omnipresent. There are no parts of the whole. Each step in the unfolding of the man ideal follows the continuing desire for unfolding. Cell memory of purpose is given to each cell as it unfolds. Pattern of ideal follows in sequence, as desire in God mind and desire in the growing ideal work together to express the ideal in form. Every action of unfolding man is a part of the unfolding of the man idea, as it exists as a whole in God's mind. Any desire of man is, therefore, a two-way extension of the light of that ideal from God to man. Whatever God desires to express in man, he will express, for he is man's creator. Whatever man desires, the God in him will create. Man must, however, co-create with God according to God's universal law. If man breaks that law, the law will break him to an equal extent. Life is a sequence of experiences. All of the expressions of desire in the unfolding of any ideal are a part of the ideal. They are experiences in decisions. All experiences are part of the unfolding of any ideal. Whatever those decisions are, however, they are recorded upon the individual man as his own interpretation of the man ideal. Likewise, they are recorded in the whole of the race of man as the sum total of all desire and experience of the whole man ideal. As the idea of anything is one, so also the parts of the ideal are one. Instinctive intercommunication. If it were not for instinct, animal life could not survive or develop. Instinct causes mechanical actions to take place in all bodies to meet the necessities of existence. Instinct protects animal life from enemies. It tells the proper food to eat, how to build nests, how to take care of its young, how to return home when taken great distances, as the carrier pigeon does, and countless other wonderful things that animals do. A salmon spawned in a certain river instinctively leaves that river and makes its way to the sea until maturity. At the proper time for its mating and spawning, it then returns over thousands of trackless miles to the very river in which it was born. It is instinct which tells birds to fly south before winter. Instinct tells them the direction of south. Instinct tells them it is warmer in that direction. Instinct likewise governs the migration of seals, the building of the beaver's dam, and the weaving of the spider's web. Instinct might be defined as cell memory record of all actions of a body and of all of the sensations caused by those actions. The beginning of instinct. Without instinct in all animals and vegetable life, their evolution would not be possible. All creations of the Creator are the result of electric wave recordings of the Creator's thought. They are parts of the whole ideal, taken apart and put together bit by bit. They are the result of universal law of cause and effect. None of the creations of the Creator have in them at their beginning the power to think. It takes millions of years for complex organisms to recognize the spirit within them sufficiently to think at all. During these long ages, they are guided almost entirely by their instinctive reflexes. Man alone has begun to think, reason, imagine, create, and invent, and then only during the last few thousand years. Instinct is God control. Instinct, therefore, God control over the actions of his creations. The involuntary actions of the body, such as the heartbeat, or the action of white corpuscles, do not know their purpose in the healing process of the body, but God centers and controls every atom of his creation, and each must fulfill its purpose. Instinct building by God and man. A good example of the manner in which God and man work together for creative expression is the familiar knitting woman. Knitting is part of the man ideal, which requires a skill. The woman who desires to knit must desire to acquire that skill. Desire must precede all expression of that desire. Slowly, she takes one stitch at a time. All of her power of concentration is needed to take those first stitches. Each stitch taken, however, has within it the desire for taking the next stitch. Very slowly, she interlaces yarns into the pattern required. The cells of her fingers gradually acquire cell memories of their purpose. These cells coordinate with other cells of the body in the development of the whole skill. Gradually, she learns to knit instinctively. Her mind is freed from concentration, and she may think of other things and converse freely. Her body cells alone will work from the memory of purpose given to them. Instinctive skills are thus imparted to bodies of man by the co-creative efforts of God and man. The pianist teaches his fingers to work instinctively in order to free his mind to think music. God is working with him.